And today, what I'd like to take you through is a couple of key Dimebag Darrell guitar licks, and just show you some of the quite simple, quite innovative approaches of how to actually put this into your guitar playing and kind of make it sounding just as sweet as Dime. So stay tuned, let's rock on. Okay, let's have a look at the first few licks. So what I did at the start of that particular little demonstration was really just do a drop D on, let's say, the low E, going down a tone. So starting off at, let's say, the pitch of E, and just basing it an octave down from the D string, playing a D, playing an E, start to resolve as a D5. That's one of the most straightforward ways to actually get the drop D and actually keep it in tuning as well. And the riff, I kind of took there as a little example, was from a new Level, which is the second track from Pantera's Vulgar Display of Power. And it's a very, very straight chromatic little lick that goes through on, say, the open bass strings of E, A and D, which will now be drop D, A and D, and just stepping through in groups of three, starting off with, let's say, a palm mute, just going across the bridge, and then just going open first, second, and then kind of gradually building up on that. So I've got, so I started off, last point was the second, on the second time round was going to the third, and then on the next time round, now I jumped to the fourth, skipped the fifth, and went to the sixth. So here's how it should sound all together. And then doing 4 hits just on the 6th fret, which would be my power chord of G sharp 5, and just hitting it 4 times round. So altogether it should sound like this. Pretty straightforward, and that's a very key Dimebag Darrell riff. Going through the next few bits, what I'm doing is a little riff going across the low E string on the drop D. And what Dime used to do was actually emphasise quite a lot of syncopation in his riffs. Sometimes he'd play it with an upstroke, so you got that sort of double down and then double up. But then sometimes he'd also play it all with downstroke, which is a more James Hetfield approach to it, to kind of get that particular rhythm. I'll do it very slowly. Let's say just with the downstrokes and then with the ups. And then let's say with the ups as well. What also Dime would do would use what I'm using here, the Digitech whammy pedal. And the way I've actually got it set at the moment is it's set to a 2 octave stretch. So let's say if I was to hit, for example, the drop D string, all the way up to 2 octave stretch, which is basically the equivalent of going from the 12th all the way to the 24th fret, so which I don't actually have on this guitar, so it's quite actually handy having this pedal. That's actually getting the pitch that I want. And what Dime would do would, to kind of really emphasise the whammy, to get all those screaming effects, would hit, let's say, a natural harmonic. So the easiest places to get these would be in the perfect positions. So you've got the 12th, you've got the 7th, and you've also got the 5th. And then by hitting those positions, and accentuating with the pedal, you've already got that far beyond driven sound to it, where Dime really started to use this particular pedal on that album. And also doing the same sound on the 7th fret. And then on the 5th fret. And and you start to intermix, let's say, the chug on the low E, and then putting those harmonics around place, you get some really, really cool sounds. And that's another thing Don would do, is actually put a bit of a shake going on the tremolo arm, and let's say just hitting that, say, that harmonic, pitching it up, and then giving it a wobble. And that's literally just through the first opening few seconds or minute of a new level. We've got a whole bunch of licks there, so that's pretty cool. Okay, going into a couple of symmetrical patterns that Dine does. What I've done is I've brought my drop D back to a E tuning, so we're all in concert again. And the framework for the licks that I was doing, aside from the riff, the harmonics that we talked about earlier, was all based around the E minor scale. I'm using mainly the framework of an E minor pentatonic, which should sound a little bit like this. A little bit like that. And what Dine would do, he'd take some of the framework, let's say the flat third stretch, which is basically just a tone and a half, going, let's say, from the 12th fret to the 15, and then he put an extra stretch going, let's say, for this particular example, of 2 tones. And what I actually get there would be a perfect triad cluster, because I've actually got my root, I've got my flat third, and then I've got my fifth. But rather than actually changing that according to where the framework of the actual scale would apply, what he would do is actually just keep that same shape of that kind of minor triad, the first, flat third and fifth, and literally just play on every single string. And what he would do is kind of vamp the ideas in more of a triplet fashion, so you get that one and a one and a one and a, going across each string. And you kind of get licks sounding something a little bit like this. So let's say, for example, that was 16th fretting, like one and a one and a one and a one and a, and just changing between the strings. Very, very simple in theory, but sounds really, really effective, and it really has that Dimebag essence to it, which is pretty cool. So I'll do it very, very slowly. Let's say starting from the top of each string, and then I'll do a descending run and an ascending run. Actually sounds a little bit like Judas Priest at that particular point, which also was a big influence in Dimebag because he was very, very much an old school guy. Now that example was predominantly in more of an 8th note triplet fashion. When you start to monk it up, and there you have it. Straight Dimebag, all over, symmetrical patterns, but sounding really, really cool. These are some ones that I didn't actually show you in the demonstration, but a really, really cool one he uses within, let's say, Cowboys from Hell, is a little pattern where we've got the same framework of, let's say in this case the minor pentatonic, and then using the 12th to the 15th fret, and then placing an extra note. So we're going to play 2 notes per string, but this time actually playing 3 notes per string by adding the 11th fret behind the 12, and using that triplet fashion that we were doing before. It's got a very, very bluesy resolve to it because of that semitone distance between the 11th and the 12th fret. And once again, rather than actually changing according to how the scale would apply, he just takes that same symmetrical shape and just moves it about. Dimebag, all over. And the best way to practice these is just to start off dropping the sub like we did earlier before. And then just doing that, let's say, going across each string. Okay, that brings us to the end of my short tutorial about some dime licks that you can put into your guitar playing. Hope you found it inspiring and insightful. And if you want to hear some more thoughts and feelings on Dimebag Darrell from my own perspective, if you'd like to click on the link here, you'll be taken to Ben's rock blog, where I'll be going in depth with Dimebag Darrell and Pantera from the eyes of myself. So, keep rocking and stay inspired. Hopefully I'll be able to put a few more tutorials up very soon, and also finally wrapping up my Annihilator tutorial, which would be pretty cool. And any thoughts and queries, drop a note into my D-bar just down here. Also visit my YouTube channel of BA Guitar Tuition. And in the meantime, as always, keep rocking and stay inspired. See you all soon. See you soon.